Hello, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a short public service announcement on copyright, fair use, and plagiarism. Ways to keep you and your students free from plagiarism in a copy and paste society. So, it's not really that strange of an idea that we live in a society where technology has become so integrated that if we need something, all we have to do is find it on Google. It's a short, little search away. However, this could go ahead and lead us into some problems with something known as copyright. So, some definitions you should probably be aware of. The first is copyright itself. And copyright, by definition, is the exclusive legal right given to an originator or an assignee to print, publish, perform, film, or record literary, artistic, or musical material, as well as to authorize others to do the same. Fair use. Fair use is the doctrine that brief excerpts or copyrighted material may, under certain circumstances, be quoted verbatim for purposes such as criticism, news reporting, teaching, and research without the need for permission from or payment to the copyright holder. And finally, plagiarism, simply put, is the practice of taking someone else's work or ideas and passing them off as your own. Also, this is the use of another's material without proper consent from them. So, plagiarism. Why should we avoid it? Well, simply put, for all intents and purposes, plagiarism, or using copyrighted material without the consent of the creator, is illegal. And I don't know about you, illegal is not really something that you would like to be associated with. Well, at least that's what I think anyway. So, some examples where plagiarism can affect teachers as well as students. So, for example, let's say the student has to go ahead and create a multimedia project. If they decide to use, let's say, that famous pop song that's currently stuck in everybody's heads, that's copyright infringement and that's plagiarism. Let's say they want to go ahead and use a photo from a very popular video or a clip from a very popular video. Once again, we have a problem there. Also, research papers are places where looking up research, data, and the following are often a commonplace. But if the student doesn't go ahead and give credit to the originator of that data, we have another problem. Also, teachers, when composing PowerPoints, I am guilty of this myself, that if I need a photo, I'll just go ahead, Google search it, grab it, and put it up there. Also, showing videos in the classroom, or an idea you might have not have thought of, copying of text for student distribution. So going ahead and actually scanning or copying parts of a book and distributing it to your students, once again, is plagiarism. So how to avoid and work through plagiarism? Make sure you're citing your sources. So make sure you're citing your sources if working with data, facts, or any material gathered from text, reports, or other forms of media. And these can be done in either APA for more scientific-based papers or MLA for English papers. Fair use. So by modifying, using small snippets of material, or using the media under question for critique, news, education or teaching, or research, you can actually bypass copyright. Public domain. These contain materials that are published by the government or have had their copyright license expire. These materials can be used without worrying about plagiarism because they are in the public domain, or for free use by all. And finally, if you have a purchase from the license holder of the copyright of the material, most of the time they will license these out for use for a fee. So, resources. These are some tools to help you avoid plagiarism. Citation Machine and Purdue OWL. These provide guidelines and walkthroughs for citing sources in both APA and MLA. We have CK12 and OpenStax. So these are Creative Commons or free textbooks that can be distributed by teachers to students without worry of copyright infringement or plagiarism. And finally, we have options such as Project Gutenberg and the Internet Archive. These are public domain resources that are free for public use without the use of copyright license. So you could use anything that you found on here without worrying about running into problems. That's going to go ahead and finish up our little introduction to copyright infringement, plagiarism, as well as free use in public domain. I hope you learned something, and if you ever need any help, please be sure to visit the resources or contact someone in your local library or anybody in your school that might be able to help you out a bit more with this. Until next time, thank you very much for your time, and take care.